Hi, Bill.
Hi.
So you're having fun over there?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even mention that we suddenly had to replace our water tank yesterday.
Oh, no.
We were getting air in the water, and it
Uh,
had been building for some time, and over the weekend got very milky looking, the water, and the faucet started spitting, so
aha.
the previous one had lasted since 2010, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, our first one lasted, I guess, about 25 years.
Wow, that's good.
Um, but that was good. And then we got a bigger one,
Hmm.
which I think helps keep the flow of the water, regardless of what's going on, pretty constant.
Yeah.
So, so do you do you have a functioning bathroom at the moment, or?
Yes. It all starts tomorrow.
Oh,
Today I had to be home here for delivery. Not sure when it's happening. And I couldn't afford to be away because we have two toilets coming, and I
oh.
don't want them sitting out on the road.
You don't.
Well,
You're so picky, Bill.
if it were Home Depot or somebody like that, that would be one thing. But it's FedEx, and although they're generally good, you know, they occasionally get lazy.
No kidding. Did I ever tell you my favorite FedEx story? I had a student who I don't think you know. Well, yes, you do. Jeff, who's in our class in Florida.
Oh,
He lived about 5 miles away from here,
yeah.
and one day I went over to see him there, and on my way back, I came down the hill and to the stop sign, and there was a package sitting by the stop sign, and I thought, well, let me see if I can, move that somewhere. Got out, picked up the package, and looked at it, and it was a FedEx delivery to me,
Wow.
about 5 miles away from the house.
Yep. I had a similar experience. I'm not sure whether it was FedEx or UPS. I can't remember. But I had a telephone call from the other side of town from a woman who said, "We just found a package under our fence." And it appears, uh, it's been here for a while because it's a little waterlogged, but we can read the address to you. So, it was only about 3 miles, I suppose, but I drove over and got it. But who knows? It was
Yeah.
it had to have been placed there because it was about 20 feet away from the driveway and
Yeah.
under a fence. So
Good morning, Jeff.
Hi, good morning.
morning.
Hey, Bill.
You sound out of breath, Jeff.
I just got back from bringing Kate to work. I was kind of
Oh,
rushing.
oh, she had an early
So I
shift.
kind of I kind of rushed upstairs, plugged my thing in, and so
Yeah,
I yeah.
she had an early shift today.
Well, no, actually, it's the same. It's 11 o'clock, but no, I give her the option. I can either bring you in at 9:30, or I can bring in, leave here at like quarter of 11 and like really cut it close.
Yeah.
So she chose the earlier one, and she can hang out. She works at Starbucks.
Yeah,
She goes and hangs out and has a coffee, and
yeah.
and this way I don't have to leave class early. So
Well, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Jeff, what's your shirt say?
yeah, I got it. It's a new T-shirt actually.
Yeah.
Tai
Is,
Chi shirt.
are those the symbols for Tai Chi?
I believe so. Well, it says
Okay.
it also says balance, tranquility, strength.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah, I bought a few new T-shirts on Amazon, so I thought I would get a Tai Chi shirt. And so, and yeah, I have her probably about 15 years old or more.
I know what those look like.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Okay.
David, did you do anything with adjusting your computer?
Yeah.
Bill, are you finding that his volume is really,
Yeah,
really loud?
quite loud this morning.
Yeah, because like I don't know how it is compared to me, but compared to Bill, Bill's is like kind of here normal, and David, yours is really, really loud, like louder than I've ever heard.
Well, Linda Hines. Do you know Linda? I can't remember if you.
And I don't think I do.
She's one of my longtime students, particularly in meditation, and she's a music teacher.
Right.
And when I was talking to when she got on for a class, I was complaining about that issue, and she had run into that when she was trying to teach piano classes during the pandemic
Right.
on Zoom. And she led me to where I could make an adjustment that helped a lot.
Right. And it does, and I don't care that it's loud. If I could adjust it, it's just the disparity between you and Bill. I've either got to have you really loud or not be able to hear Bill.
So do you want me to turn mine down a little?
I would say so. Since Bill's having the same problem,
probably,
I think so. That would probably help just to even everybody out
How's that?
better. Can you go a little lower?
Sure. There? How's
Bill,
that?
Can you say something?
I'm saying.
No, I said, can Bill say something? You're
Oh,
still
yeah,
a lot louder than Bill, but
there.
it's not as loud as it was.
Yeah.
Am I loud enough?
Oh yeah, you're definitely you're louder than Bill still by a fair margin.
Well, I think Bill may have the same issue I had.
Well,
How are things on your end, Bill, as far as David?
I
and
hear
I
everything.
comparatively?
David louder. Last week we had significant problems both ways hearing each other on Wednesday.
Huh.
And that was there were other people in the class who were also having strange
Yeah.
audio problems. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to lower it a little bit, and I'm going to strain to listen to Bill more. Since you do more talking, David, I'll adjust it to you.
Okay. So, what wonders have you discovered in your practice this week?
But it's nice to practice. That's a wonder. But I haven't had any big breakthroughs, unfortunately. But
Any conundrums causing questions about what you want to be doing or not?
not really. Just knowing I need to keep working on it, and I'll get there.
Okay. Bill?
I learned a little bit of a lesson. As we've been talking, and there's been a lot of stress. We're redoing 2 bathrooms, Jeff. Waiting for delivery.
Simultaneously?
Well, no.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so that's about to start, but the delivery problems and et cetera, and water tank gone bad, et cetera.
Wow.
So I intended to use 8 gates in particular to calm down, or to stay calm. And I should have known better. I mean, nothing went wrong, but you can't make something happen.
Good
So,
lesson.
yeah, it helped once I relaxed and just let it happen. And yeah, but it was interesting because I said, okay, this is what Tai Chi is for. But it's not.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it happens if you do Tai Chi appropriately, but
yeah,
you can't force the issue.
that's our feeling about it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, any further awareness or problems with um, understanding or feeling opening and closing?
I mean, I believe I'm trying to do it right, where I'm trying to extend it all the way through the shoulder blade to the spine and all. I mean, that's my goal, and depending on how I'm practicing or what I'm doing, and I may or may not be focusing more on that than on other things. But that's what I'm trying to do. So, is that the goal?
Well, as long as you're not trying to make it happen.
Well, no, I mean, I'm trying. When I do it, I'm not trying to force. I'm just trying to extend that relaxation that through the elbows and then through here. And as you remember, I particularly sometimes have problems relaxing the shoulders, so I'm trying to
Yep.
at times remember that. And then when I feel like I'm doing okay with that, I'll try and go further through the scapula into the spine and see if I can relax that as well. That's
Good.
Again,
Okay.
it's not what I do every time, but that's my overall longer term goal when I finally feel like I'm doing it all more correctly.
Okay. Anything for you, Bill?
Um, I sort of flip-flop between uh, focusing on one one juncture at a time, like hands, wrists, or ankles, or backs of the knees, uh, or then try to pay attention to a number of them at the same time, because that seems to give me a better feel for uh, the opening and closing of any one of them when I package them, and try to focus on, let's say, my hands, wrists, backs of the knees, and my feet at the same time. So I know that you've taught and said that best to get one thing straight and then the next thing straight. I'm not sure whether what you have to say about what I just
Um, but I think you have the right idea.
Mm.
Um, the what I found was that when I got to the point where I didn't have to think about all the other elements,
Mhm.
that I could begin to make progress with opening and closing much more easily. And what for me, the real discovery was that opening and closing seemed to cause all the other elements to occur.
Wow.
So when I'm just practicing the Wu style, for instance, the first posture in the Wu is just standing and opening and closing.
Yeah.
And the whole body is actually responding to that. You're not doing any big movement. But what happens, at least for me, is that in particular, in my arms and my legs, I begin to twist and lengthen and bend and stretch without any effort. I'm not actually doing anything. I'm simply opening and closing throughout the entire body.
Well, I get hints of that.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, it's. I am not suggesting that you should be at that point, or that it is something easy to arrive at. It's not. It took me years. So, you know, it's a progress, and I had one of the things that obviously helps a teacher is that you get the opportunity to do a lot of movement. Sometimes it's practice, sometimes it's just movement. But in addition to whatever your practice may be, you get a lot of extra too. Plus, your students actually teach you a lot. So, I'm not intending to complicate anything by adding anything else right at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
There's more?
well, we've barely touched on opening and closing.
Well, David, I wanted to toss in also, since you just mentioned through your body, through your legs and all, as far as the opening and closing happening. I am not really at a point where I've even had much chance to or desire to focus that much on my lower body and doing it. I do occasionally dabble a little bit and try and feel it, but I've not made any progress yet because I've also not put a lot of intention there. I'm still trying to work mostly on the upper body and the spine on out and get a reasonably good feel for that before I try and focus on the lower body, just so you know where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, it's.
I mean, I'll take a different approach if you think it would be better for me to do so, but that's what I've been doing so far.
No, I just feel that you've been doing this long enough, and you're aware enough of what your upper body is doing that it's really important to begin to allow your lower body to join in the chorus here. Because the lower body actually eventually is accomplishing 10 times what the upper body does.
Right.
So it's...
Could you maybe just talk us through a little bit of a lower body opening and relaxing and you know how to focus more on that? to give me something to refer to when I try and do it. I mean, whether you do it sitting or whether we do it together, standing, whatever.
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking that one of the ways to approach that is to be aware that we have the 6 correspondences. Do you remember that principle?
I do. I don't remember all 6, though.
Yeah. So one of the first ones of those are that our feet and ankles and hands and wrists are doing the same thing
Okay.
together. So if you feel that you can get some sense of opening and closing your hands and wrist, then you can begin to take that awareness into your feet and ankles.
Okay.
Obviously, the other way to approach it is to go down from the torso, in which case you're beginning to connect the shoulders and the qua. And so if you can really relax the qua and let it open and close, which is essential to what we're doing. I mean, it's a major joint in the body for us, because we don't, unless there is a specific Qigong requirement to do so for a specific reason, we don't move the shoulders differently than we are moving the hips. So that means that the qua has to open and close. It has to relax. The only way you can do that is to be able to release the qua and allow it to function without tightening up all the muscles there. So you can approach either way. Obviously, eventually you want to work through the whole leg.
Right.
Elbows and knees work together.
Right.
They're connected. So, and they're obviously in the middle. So if you can get one end beginning to function, then you can move into the middle. The problem always for us is that we stand on our legs. If we walked on our hands all the time, that would be different.
Right.
We have the opposite problem. But we have trouble releasing and opening the legs because we feel we have to have everything tightened up to hold us up, which we don't.
Yeah, that's where I do hit some roadblocks sometimes, is being able to release some or certainly all of the legs and quad and everything on down.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's tough for all of us. I mean, it's both just in the sense of the fact that we walk on our legs, but also we don't grow up with the concept of being able to relax and do things with our energy. I mean, Chinese children, not all of them probably these days, but any of them who've been exposed from childhood to the concepts don't have difficulty feeling the energy or relaxing a body part to let the energy flow through.
Mm. Okay.
I don't know. It's not a. There are no, quick fixes, unfortunately.
Right. I think for me, it all will begin with being able to consistently relax my claw, which I have not focused on really doing it, because that's the gateway between the two. I think I need to do that and feel the energy flowing better through there.
Yeah, if you're not at least releasing there to some extent, it is difficult, I think, to go to the other parts of the leg.
I think that's the first thing I will need to focus on then to relax that, and I think that will allow other things to happen more easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Good. Anything in there for you, Bill? I know you've been working on that.
Well, I'm trying to, when I think about it, which is one thing, I try not to, I'm aware that the weight of the body is on the legs, and it's always going to be a factor because you're aware of that. But opening and closing shouldn't have to do with weight, as far as I understand.
Right.
So it needs to be sidestepped somehow, and that's what that's what I'm kind of working on, trying to not let the weight the weight of the body influence what's going on.
The difficult part of that, Bill, is that you're absolutely right about what you're saying, but pressure does affect opening and closing.
Yeah.
And of course, pressure is related to weight. But how releasing that weight and not tensing that weight are two different things.
Yeah.
Why don't you do some 8 gates? Relax your mind from all this thinking. And when you begin, take some time to just stand. Let yourself see if you can get whatever parts of your body are able or willing to do so to open and close before you begin to move. No matter how small. So what did you feel in doing that?
I did feel like I had more of a connection, wrists and ankles, shoulders and quad, because I was focusing on the quad more so than usual throughout the whole thing. Really,
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling that there is that connection there if I if I choose to work on it, which I will now.
Good.
Um, well, for one thing, I was as happy with my transitions as I generally can get. So,
Yes. Uh-huh.
um, and that was, I mean, I usually manage most of them, but this one, I mean, I seem to have a good flow going throughout that didn't, hitch or slow up or whatever. So that was one thing. The other was that I was uh, trying to incorporate, sometimes when I'm aware of shoulders, throat notch, ribs, sides, dantians, middle and lower, claw, knees, yeah, but I forget about the upper dantian and the by way. And I was trying to include those as part of my awareness this morning.
Oh, good. They are there.
Because we generally don't say too much about the upper dantian or by way at this stage at least.
Yeah, we generally come to that a little bit later. You're right. As you know from your other class, we start with really trying to make that connection between the lower and middle dantian.
Yeah.
It's not to ignore the upper, but it is considerably more difficult to make that connection.
Yeah. But I will say when I seem to do the connection at some level that it's the whole body, and it's obviously the whole body then,
Mm-hmm. Good.
David, I still am. I'm having trouble. And I realized it during that flow. If I'm focusing on the quad and trying to keep it relaxed through opening and closing, uh, in keeping it relaxed when I do rise a little bit. There's a little sync sometimes, which is easy to keep it relaxed. But then as I try and rise through relaxation, I'm not having as much success. I'm finding that I'm still inherently sort of using the muscles of the quad a little bit to rise. Any ideas on how I can do that better?
Well, when you open, you will not have to do it with effort. You actually open it. So, just as we have a difference between turning and twisting,
Right.
there is a difference between simply relaxing the muscles as much as possible and actually opening and closing. Because opening and closing is energetic.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm having at this point. I'm not crossing that barrier to the energy, controlling it yet very well. On my with the quad.
We all will work on that through our entire life.
Okay. So practice.
Yes.
Okay.
I the thing I think about is that the masters that I have actually experienced, I realize have devoted their lives to doing that.
Mm.
They when we saw Henry Wang, I remember him saying that if you want to arrive at a high level of energetic ability, that has to be more important than anything else in your entire life, including your family.
Wow.
And most of that isn't appropriate for everyone.
Right.
So I'm not suggesting that you should do that,
Right.
but it does kind of give you an awareness that it not that you can't do it, but that there are stages and levels that we all can arrive at along the way, and a few individuals are able to arrive at the extremes, but most of us won't, can't, don't have enough time to do that.
Right. Or numerous combinations of the above.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is back to Master Joe's 4 principles. Do your best. And I remember Jay doing a 1-hour workshop on those 4 principles, and I don't remember everything he said certainly at this point, but he was talking about do your best means at every point along the way, during the day, when you're practicing when you're not just practicing, but always trying to do the best you can, but not going beyond what is a reasonable level for you.
Mm. That's the don't overdo it part.
Yeah, right. Because overdoing in that sense is the same thing as trying too hard, thinking that you can make it happen and approaching it that way. That's just not our belief. Now there are, in the fire method trainings, there are people who believe that's true. And to some degree you can, but it can also lead to excess that is not beneficial, which the water method pretty much avoids.
Right.
So I don't know. Does that answer some of that for you?
Yeah. You know, it gives me the understanding that there is no set of instructions that you have to follow to get there. There's a lot of different paths, and it happens in different ways. And it's just, you know, I guess it's like most other breakthroughs we have along the way of our Tai Chi path, that we keep trying, and, you know, we incorporate everything that you say and that we practice, and hope that it happens.
Believe that it will happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't have sensation in the quad and I don't feel the energy moving. It's just that when I'm trying to extend back up and, you know, rise back up, that I haven't gotten to a point where I can do that through relaxation and energy movement yet.
Yeah.
So I certainly
Yeah.
want to do that, and I hope to do that. But it's yeah, it's because of what you were saying earlier that our weight is resting on the legs. That's the stumbling point for me, obviously. So
Yeah. You know, the really being aware, not only aware, but actually moving the energy ultimately dantian to the extremities and back is one of the most important flows that we work with, and it you're trying to get to the point where you feel the energy at the same level at all 5 of those extremities. So hands and feet and crown of the head.
right.
And then when you begin to think about it that way, and to feel what's actually going on, you will discover that they aren't equal, probably, and more than likely that the feet are the ones you're feeling the least to begin with.
Right.
But they can be the same.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, I do, as I say that I'm working on the legs and I'm not getting a lot of success there. I do, however, get very rooted often. I can feel.
Yeah, that's true. You have very good root.
Yeah, I've always been able to do that pretty quickly, and I still do that really well, even though I don't feel like I'm doing that well with my legs. So I know the energy is moving there. I just haven't gotten.
Yeah, and it means you really are releasing downward as well as upward,
Yeah.
because you can root. Yeah. So part of the issue, particularly for you, is allowing your mind to extend through your body so you can feel it.
Yes. Yep. You're right.
Yeah. And that's a really important step, and it's one of the things that we work on in the 8 gates, because when you are beginning, you can go through all the various stages as you're standing until you reach the point where you have allowed yourself to open up to the point that you can feel your mind extend through your body. And that's important to do, because then ultimately your mind can help to direct the flow to where you want it to go in the body. Not just feel what's going on, but to be an active part of encouraging it to do what it needs to do. Or to simply be aware that it actually is doing it. I mean, there's just so much.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
that raise anything for you, Bill?
No.
Okay. So, the Wu style. So we're close to the end, not too far away. Just trying to define where opening and closing is occurring. Questions up to the point that we're at the moment?
No,
Was that a yes?
no, no questions.
Oh, okay. See. Okay, good. So, guess what I'd like is for each of you to separately flow up to that point.
Have we gotten through gargoyles? Is that where we went? Or two gargoyles?
Yeah.
I think we got to it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
To it, okay. I remember us doing incense. I don't remember if we went past that or not.
I don't think we really looked at gargoyles.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind looking at it again, even if we did. So that's fine with me.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
It's up to you, Bill. You decide.
You go.
Okay.
So, I guess one of the things I would say, Jeff, is interestingly enough, all your pungs were just arm movements. That was not true of most other things you were doing. But your pungs, you seem to feel you had to add something.
Oh, okay.
I think single whip, you're missing a step. No, that's not it. Just a second here. I'm trying to. There we go. That wasn't what you want. I wanted.
There you go.
So when you've done that on, there is either a step or it could be a turn on the heel there, but you're coming in and out.
Yeah.
And as you come to 100%, there is whatever adjustment is needed on that left foot. There is a step there that as you're going in and then out.
I do that. Did I miss it in one of those or both of those? Did I know that?
I felt the step. What did I feel about that?
Maybe I just turned my foot in one of them instead of actually stepping.
I guess maybe I felt that you came in too long and then just came out.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's more that.
Yeah. That's
You
possible.
were doing a step there.
Okay.
It's small. It doesn't need to be big. You're not trying to step further away. You're
Right.
simply adjusting the angle of the foot.
Okay. I'm trying to add a lot of roundness to that posture too. I may be going bigger than necessary just to try and do that as well.
Well, that's fine to begin with. You
Yeah.
can do it big and let it.
Because I had been just kind of going back and forth, and now I'm trying to add the roundness on the edges a little bit. So I may be making it bigger than I need to.
Yeah. The other place, after you've gone, but as you're going into wave hands,
Right.
that first movement, you have to come in and then go out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether you were aware of it, but you were out and you stayed out, and then
Yeah, that's the way I've always done it. Actually, I didn't know that I came in on that first one. I've never known that, to be honest with you.
well, you're
Now I do.
you've gone out here, and then you're closing and
Yeah.
opening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I have not done that.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yep.
Okay. Even after all this time, hundreds of times doing it, I learned.
Well, it just shows that I'm human too.
Well, I mean, there's so many subtleties to all of these that that's why we keep practicing.
Yeah. True.
There's so many subtleties and so many little ways of improving here and there. So
Did,
yeah, but no, I did not know that. So that is good to know. Just like I wasn't as aware, a couple of weeks ago when we were doing the Tiger that we come in first and then out. I wasn't coming in here. I kind of knew it, but I wasn't coming in enough.
Yeah.
To go back out with the fists, and that helped when I learned that. So
yeah, yeah. Do you have any other questions there?
no, I think I know what I'm supposed to do, but again, that's why that's why you watch us.
Okay. Bill?
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. That's where we were. Good. That was actually what I would say, Bill, is it felt a real improvement in flow and connecting everything together, and I guess maybe it was more internal. That just was had a much fuller sense of what we're trying to accomplish here. To me, it seemed than previously. So that was
I
a
hear that because that's kind of what I felt this morning. So,
oh good, good. One of the things that I was going to say, though, that I think you should keep being aware of is that bending and stretching and twisting are continuous. Your hands sometimes tend to get stuck,
okay.
but not all the time. So just really a sense of working on consistency with that.
Can I ask, was wave hands too big?
Bigger than it has to be, but not necessarily bigger than it maybe needs to be at this stage of your practice.
Okay. I was trying to round and open and close, and I had a feeling maybe it got carried away a little bit.
It was no, that was fine. Clearly it doesn't need to be that big, but there was nothing wrong with it,
Okay.
and I did feel most of the time that you were keeping the arms rotating around the spheres and moving. There were a couple of places where it got stuck a little bit, but it was not. You're making progress. Yeah.
I think mine is probably similar in size to yours, Bill, because I'm trying to do what David just said, which is consciously keep the ball rotating, the hands moving, and to do that, I think I need more space to do it and more visual ability to do it. So I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, David, but I think I'm probably the same size as Bill.
Yeah.
So it just feels like that's what I need to do right now. To sense the rotation and to not pass the midpoint of the body and that kind of thing.
Yep. It just takes time. Come on, David. So I don't think I'm going to try to do anything else today. We're really close to the end of class, and I don't think there's time to really get into anything else, unless either one of you has a specific question you'd like to ask at this point.
No, but I do need to talk to you about next week, though. Jesse and I are coming to Connecticut next week.
Oh,
But it's going to be, it's a shorter visit than usual, and it's just the two of us. It's not Kate also. We actually come on Wednesday and we leave on Sunday. So I'm not going to be there, unfortunately, for a class. And to further compound my frustration with having to time it this way is I may not even be able to make Tuesday's class because I'm going to be jammed up trying to get work done. Kate is at work, so I'm going to have Jesse all day because he's on vacation. So I've got Jesse. I've got a ton of work to do. I've got to prepare for leaving the next morning. I really want to try and do the Tuesday class, obviously, but I will let you know for sure on Monday if I can make Tuesday's class or not.
Okay.
You know, and if there's a, I would love to come, maybe stop by with Jesse at some point too, but you'll let me know how the end of that week looks for you. It'd probably have to be later in the week.
Uh-huh.
Let me know
Okay.
time. We'll text and we'll connect and we'll see if we can make it work. If not, then next time we come for sure. But I will let you know on Monday if I can make Tuesday or not, because it's just going to be, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before we leave are going to be extremely hectic.
Yeah. I can understand.
Kate's working extra so that she doesn't have to work while I'm gone. I'm working extra so I don't have to bring my work with me. We've got Jesse at home on vacation, so it's going to be tiring. I
Yeah.
will let you know for sure. I mean, obviously, I certainly hope to make it on Tuesday, and I will try. But that's
Yeah.
on that.
No, just let us know, Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, have a good week, and Bill, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
If you can join us, you can come late. Do what
Yeah. Okay.
do whatever works.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care, Bill.